Episode 56 BC. Continuation of article about California electric vehicles. Problems with the Clean Vehicle Assistance Program were resolved last year. The state credits can be combined with new federal tax credits under the Inflation Reduction Act. Through 2032, eligible car buyers, with caps on income and price, can get up to $7,500 for a new electric vehicle and up to $4,000 for a used one. Electric cars require far less maintenance and have lower operating costs than gas-powered cars, making them less expensive over time. California has 80,000 public chargers, with another 17,000 on the way. But the state will need 1.2 million for the 7.5 million electric vehicles expected on the roads by 2030. Many people residing in apartments or condominiums are reliant on public charging stations. They don't have chargers in their buildings' parking garages. A standard level 2 charger costs between $500 and $700, plus installing an electricity meter costs $2,000 to $8,000 or more, according to Pacific Gas and Electric. By January 2025, a new law passed last year will require the state to require businesses to install charging stations in existing commercial buildings. Another 2022 law will require new and existing buildings, including hotels, motels, and multifamily dwellings, to install charging stations. San Mateo County has 4,398 public chargers serving 747 square miles, while Inyo County has just 49 chargers across 10,140 square miles. Sierra County, with 3,300 residents, has just one public level 2 charger. Cold temperatures can substantially reduce an electric car's range. More than half in a nationwide survey, conducted by Plug in America, reported encountering problems with broken public chargers. Another survey by the Air Board found barriers to charging and broken chargers. State officials don't track numbers of broken chargers. But California state lawmakers last year passed legislation establishing a reporting mechanism for broken chargers at publicly funded stations. If there's a pretty robust charging system in rural areas, there's going to be more rural people interested in buying EVs. I don't think we're going to hit our goals as a state unless rural areas are included a bit more than they have been in recent years. Colorado, Pueblo County. $50,000 grant launches new project to collect air quality data for Pueblo County, KRDO. Today at 12:28 p.m. They'll be focusing on one type of pollution called particulate matter 2.5, or PM 2.5. But their hope is, as they start to RAWSEP view, the 2019 New York climate bill did not result in restrictions on, nor result in ending indoor residential wood burning. The 2019 bill probably did not end categorizing biomass burning falsely as renewable, carbon neutral, and carbon zero, and probably ignored PM 2.5 emissions from indoor residential wood burning. The 2019 bill was probably flawed for that reason. A 2023 New York State budget, even with elements of climate reduction in it, is probably also flawed in unscientifically viewing biomass and residential wood burning as renewable and carbon neutral. This article does not describe in detail the climate elements Governor Hochul added to the budget. New York State. New York Times, March 29, 2023. In rare show of force, House Democrats pressure Hochul on climate bill. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity. Governor Kathy Hochul released a budget proposal that backed some, but not all, of the elements in a climate bill supported by the New York State Legislature. Albany, New York. Several influential members of New York's congressional delegation are pressuring Governor Kathy Hochul to fully embrace a climate bill that would compel the state to build wind and solar energy projects when private industry falls short of state environmental goals. The measure would lay the groundwork for a publicly owned renewable energy system by allowing the New York Power Authority to build, own, and operate renewable energy generation. Each year, the Power Authority would assess the progress made by private industry on the goals set out by New York's 2019 climate law and would launch its own projects when the private sector falls short. The proposal has been a top priority for the progressive wing in Albany and was included in the Senate's One-House budget resolution. The Assembly included a similar version, but omitted a provision that would impose accountability measures on the board of the Power Authority. But Hochul fell short of agreeing to mandates that the Power Authority build to meet climate benchmarks. A letter to Hochul credited New York State's landmark 2019 Climate Act as a partial inspiration for the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, the largest climate investment in United States history. The landmark 2019 ACT required that 70% of energy be renewably generated by 2030 and entirely carbon-free by 2040. But environmentalists believe that in order to meet the electricity needs of the state, projects will need to be undertaken in locations that are unattractive or unprofitable for private industry. Ohio, Columbus. Does Columbus have most polluted air among major U.S. cities? This report says so. The Columbus Dispatch. PM 2.5, emitted when gasoline, oil, diesel fuel, or wood is burned, have been linked to health problems including premature death in people with Texas, JAPA. RAWSEP view, there is a proposed rule to force Texas to limit PM 2.5 emissions. PM 2.5 is particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, causing a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. With smoke is 90% PM 2.5. The Texas Attorney General, along with PM 2.5 polluting industry lobbyists, will probably fight the Federal Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, lowering of PM 2.5 safe limits in the state of Texas. Proposed rule to limit pollution may force Texas to limit emissions, the Texas Tribune. The Texas Tribune. The technical name is particulate matter 2.5, or PM 2.5. These particles, which are 30 times smaller than a single strand of hair, cause air pollution. RAWSEP view, in Texas, the federal government is expected to require the state of Texas to comply with new PM 2.5 safe limits, based on data from the 80 PM 2.5 monitors the state of Texas currently employs. The Texas Attorney General is expected to fight compliance with new clean air PM 2.5 regulations. Texas scientists are collecting data from hyperlocalized PM 2.5 monitors to prove pollution is happening in Texas, in these hyperlocalized areas, above safe limits. Is local monitoring with residential PM 2.5 monitors enough to ultimately stop PM 2.5 hyperlocalized pollution from happening in the first place, through shutdown of polluting sources? This article below highlights the importance of PM 2.5 monitors in collecting data to justify ultimately shutting down PM 2.5 pollution sources and solving the problem of PM 2.5 pollution in Texas. However, this article does not mention residential wood burning as a source of PM 2.5 pollution, although it does highlight the importance of hyperlocalized PM 2.5 monitors in the example of research data from JAPA, Texas. RAWSEP concludes that 80 PM 2.5 monitors across the whole state of Texas is not enough to adequately measure, count, and disclose to the public the real amount of PM 2.5 pollution in the state of Texas, and 80 PM 2.5 monitors are not hyperlocalized enough to pinpoint neighborhood sources of pollution. This article in the Texas Tribune, below, goes into depth on the effects of PM 2.5 on people who are near neighbors of polluting industries. This article does not mention residential wood burning. After introducing the issue with the example of a 67-year-old woman in JAPA, Texas who suffers from emphysema because of proximity of her neighborhood to industry, the article goes on to discuss the forthcoming decision of the Environmental Protection Agency to lower PM 2.5 limits down from 12 micrograms per meter cubed to either 9 micrograms as preliminarily announced or 8 micrograms, which is what over 250 commenters at the February 2023 public EPA hearings on the issue asked for.